recognition and you don't have prestige, but you have a standard to which you hold.
Bishop T.D. Jake Jakes had always been seen as a pillar of strength, a leader whose words and presence inspired millions across the globe. For decades, he guided people through their struggles, offering hope, encouragement, and spiritual direction. But gradually, whispers about his health began to circulate. At first, they were quiet observations, a softer voice, slower movements, or a rare missed event. Longtime followers noticed, even if the casual observer might not. People who had grown up with his sermons, who had turned to him in moments of fear or doubt, began to wonder if the man who had always seemed so unstoppable might be facing challenges of his own. The speculation started subtly, yet it grew steadily, fueled by genuine concern rather than idle gossip. A legacy of influence. Bishop Jake had built more than just a church. He had built a global ministry that touched millions of lives. The Potter's House was a movement, a source of faith and inspiration where people found direction and comfort. His books were bestsellers, his sermons broadcast worldwide, and his conferences attracted thousands, rivaling major entertainment events. For years, he carried this immense responsibility with energy, dedication, and a smile that reassured those who looked up to him. People admired his unwavering commitment, unaware of the quiet toll that constant service was taking on him physically and emotionally. Subtle signs. The first hints of strain were easy to overlook. A slightly slower step across the stage, a longer pause in a sermon, or a quieter tone in his messages could be dismissed as fatigue or the natural effects of aging. Yet, for those who had followed him for decades, these small changes were noticeable, and they sparked curiosity and concern. In 2022 and 2023, absences from conferences and key events became harder to ignore. Social media began buzzing with questions, theories, and heartfelt concern. Followers searched for any sign that their spiritual guide was well, analysing sermons and public appearances for subtle cues. The concern was not fueled by scandal or criticism, but by a deep connection, a sense of personal attachment to someone who had spent decades pouring into the lives of others. Growing curiosity and concern. As months passed, speculation intensified. Social media threads were filled with observations and worries, comments about his energy levels, comparisons with past sermons, and expressions of love and prayers. The lack of an official statement from his family only amplified the curiosity. Fans wanted to know if Bishop Jake was simply tired, overworked, or facing a serious health challenge. This silence was not negligence. It was a family choice to respect privacy, yet it unintentionally added to the growing tension. People weren't asking for gossip, they were seeking reassurance about someone who had long been a source of guidance, hope, and inspiration in their lives. A pause in presence. Despite the concern, Bishop Jake continued to fulfill his responsibilities whenever possible. He appeared at events, delivered sermons, and offered encouragement, all while quietly managing his own fatigue and physical strain. Yet, those who had followed him closely could sense that something had shifted. The energy that once seemed inexhaustible was now tempered by the reality of human limits. Supporters became vigilant, noticing when he needed to lean on the podium longer, pause for breath, or miss an event he would have never skipped in the past. The pattern was subtle but undeniable, and it sparked conversations about the long-term demands of leadership and the importance of self-care, even for spiritual figures. Understanding the journey. When the family finally addressed the public, the story that emerged was both surprising and deeply human. Bishop Jake's health challenges were not sudden crises, but the accumulated result of decades of dedicated service. His daughter, Sarah Jakes Roberts, and other family members shared that Bishop Jake had been managing fatigue and physical strain for years, often concealing the depth of his exhaustion to continue serving others. This revelation transformed the narrative from one of fear to one of empathy and admiration. Followers understood that the very man who had poured into their lives had been quietly navigating his own health journey, showing resilience and commitment without seeking attention or sympathy. Transparency and compassion. The family's openness offered reassurance. Bishop Jake was not stepping away permanently. Rather, this was a season of rest, healing, and recalibration. They framed it as an essential pause for restoration, allowing him to return with renewed strength for the future. This honesty created a profound sense of connection among followers, who saw their leader not as infallible, but as human, someone who also needed care, support, and reflection. It highlighted the balance between relentless service and personal well-being, providing a powerful example for others in leadership roles about the importance of self-care without diminishing dedication or passion. Shifting roles. As Bishop Jake focused on recovery, Sarah Jakes Roberts began to take on a more prominent role within the ministry. Her presence brought hope and continuity, while also sparking questions about the future of leadership at the Potter's House. Supporters wondered whether she could carry forward her father's vision and influence, and what changes might accompany this shift. The ministry adapted, inviting guest speakers and expanding leadership responsibilities, yet the essence of Bishop Jake's mission remained intact. This transition was a reminder that leadership is not about a single person, but about cultivating a sustainable and resilient community of faith. A global conversation. The story of Bishop Jake's health extended far beyond his immediate followers. It became a conversation about leadership, resilience, and vulnerability worldwide. Other leaders began speaking openly about the toll of constant service and the importance of rest, sparking broader discussions on well-being and sustainability in positions of responsibility. The narrative also reminded the public that even figures who appear larger than life face challenges, and that honesty about struggle can inspire empathy, solidarity, and reflection. Bishop Jake's journey became a model for balancing commitment with care, showing that strength is not diminished by acknowledging personal limits. Lessons for all. Bishop Jake's health journey offers lessons for leaders, followers, and anyone striving to balance ambition with well-being. It underscores the importance of acknowledging limits, prioritizing self-care, and embracing vulnerability without fear. It shows that strength is multifaceted, encompassing resilience, empathy, and the courage to step back when necessary. For millions who have admired him, his story is a source of encouragement, demonstrating that even the most influential figures are human, and that taking time to heal is not weakness but an essential part of sustainable leadership. The broader impact. The conversation around Bishop Jake's health has evolved into a reflection on faith, leadership, and personal growth worldwide. It has sparked dialogue about burnout, the emotional weight of leading others, and the need for supportive structures within ministries and organizations. His journey has encouraged leaders everywhere to consider their own well-being, fostering a culture of care that prioritizes balance, empathy, and sustainable service. The transparency of his family's approach has set an example of responsible communication, highlighting the importance of honesty in building trust and strengthening community bonds. A message of hope. Through all the speculation, concern, and curiosity, one message stands out. Bishop Jake's story is one of hope, renewal, and continuity. The season of rest he has embraced allows for reflection, healing, and growth, both for himself and for those around him. Followers are reminded that pausing does not mean ending, and that true influence is measured not only by action but by integrity, resilience, and the ability to inspire others through authenticity. Bishop Jake remains a figure of faith, strength, and compassion, proving that even during challenging seasons, hope and purpose endure. Looking ahead. The journey is ongoing, and the world continues to watch as Bishop Jake navigates this season with grace and courage. Questions remain about the future of leadership, the evolving role of his family, and the next chapter for the Potter's House. Yet one thing is clear. The legacy of Bishop Jake Jakes is not defined by absence, but by the enduring impact of decades of service, the lives touched, and the inspiration provided to millions. His story reminds everyone that leadership is a human endeavor, enriched by moments of rest, reflection, and renewal, and that even the strongest among us sometimes need time to pause and heal.